Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, it's Zainab. Welcome back to my daily reading of Shi'ism, a Religion of Protest by Hamid Dabashi. So today I want to start reading for you from chapter 2, which is entitled Birth of a Revolutionary Faith. So this is on page 47. Okay, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. The Tehran of the early 1970s was the cosmopolitan capital of the universe. Everything happened in Tehran. And if it did not happen in Tehran, it happened nowhere. And if it did not matter. There are many beautiful cities in Iran, but Tehran was something else. It shone, it glittered, it defied and defined you. The Tehran of the Constitutional Revolution from the early 20th century on became the capital of a nation's best hopes and most agitated imagination. When I entered Tehran as a young undergraduate student in 1970, it was seductive, it was lascivious, I don't know if I pronounced that word right or not, and it was voluminous. I don't know if I pronounced that word correctly either. Never mind. With interwoven layers of interdictions and transgressions. And in it, I was like a kid in a candy store. Masses of people, multitudes of students from all over the country, Persian spoken in a symphony of accents, avant-garde art, cool and crazy art galleries, world literature, classical music, progressive politics, revolutionary zeal, European cinema, long hungry days with not enough money to buy food, Russian leather, Latin American soccer, Che Guevara posters painted with love and admiration and given to you on what you now discovered was your birthday, quote unquote, Karl Marx in fluent Persian translation, Federico Fellini uncensored, working hard to make meager ends meet, pulsating with the poetic prurience of a world bursting with the erotic excitement of an adolescent touching the unfamiliar pastures of a stranger's body for the very first time. Tehran was urbane, suave, sophisticated. Tehran was stylish, elegant, debonair. Tehran was everything that the provinces were not, and the Tehranis knew it, flaunted it, formed and framed it. And you stood there wide-eyed, beholden, bashful, dizzy. Tehran, to be sure, was no Sodom or Gomorrah. Tehran was also pious, believing, at times even religiously sanctimonious, overbearing. Tehran had more than its share of mosques and churches and synagogues and Zoroastrian temples, as well as its Husseinias, its rich and opulent but faintly observant bazaars, its religious convictions, its moral codes, its fanaticism, asceticism, abstinence. Tehran had its supply of nightclubs, movie theaters, sports facilities, and cafes and restaurants where young people of opposite sex commingled. But Tehran also had its Meydan Tajrish, built around the shrine of a Shi'i saint. Its more down-to-earth and even poor neighborhoods near Meydan Meydan Tub Khaneh, Bazar Bain al-Haramain. Oh my gosh, I can't with these names. I'm so sorry. I'm massacring them. Meydan Ishush, Darvazeh Ghar, Shah Abd al-Azim, and the highway leading to Qom, a citadel of Shi'i piety, peopled with pious, observant believers, veiled women, bearded men, bewildered pilgrims, and dishonest shopkeepers. There was a hidden battle, a civil war, between the old Tehran, the religious Tehran, the Tehran of the persistent past, reluctant to yield in power and prestige, and the new Tehran, the burgeoning spectacles of the new cosmopolis, not just a window to the world, but in fact definitive to that world from just about any window through which you looked at. Michelangelo Antonioni, the visionary prophet of Italian cinema, brought his Passenger, the movie called Passenger from 1975, to Tehran, and as a wide-eyed cineast, I sat right in front of him during his press conference at the Tehran Film Festival. Now, how lucky could a boy be? but the divergent worlds crashed, and when push came to shove during the 1977 to 1979 revolutionary uprisings, the new cosmopolis joined the old capital but was in the end outmaneuvered by the wily schemata of the old. I have a cousin in Tehran, Abbas Parvizi, who was once a detective with the Tehran Police Department. He knew the subterranean Tehran, the criminal Tehran, the Tehran of thieves, drug pushers, addicts, pimps, and prostitutes. As an undergraduate student, I saw that hidden Tehran too, stretching wide and far under the thriving cosmopolis. During the violent Islamization, Islamization of the Iran Revolution in 1979, these were all shoved under the carpet of a state-sponsored, false, fake, and forced morality. Two solitary souls defied this Manichaean world, broke loose from its bastions of convictions and metaphors, and altogether challenged the bifurcated bone of contention in our innermost sanctities. One was one among a handful of poets who played our lives and sang our liberties, like the troubadours of an ancient familiarity, and the other a maverick revolutionary visionary with Shi'ism of a new vintage and vantage point written all over his prophetic soul. Among her contemporary master poets, iconic as they all were to our imaginative withdrawal, holding the soul of our nation together, Farrokhzad, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, was the only one to trespass that fictive barrier between the religiously musical and the atonal, between the sacred and the worldly, between the southern and the northern climes of Tehran. She accomplished all this in many endearing ways, above all in a single poem of astounding power and innocence. Kasi ka mesleh kas nist, which translates to someone who is like no one, from 1967. That was the name of the poem. This is one of the very last poems of Farrokhzad, published soon after her premature and tragic death in an automobile accident in 1967. It is a poem of irreducible simplicity and innocence, undergirded by the hallmark of her poetic gift for the uncanny, voiced from the vantage point of a second-grade girl just about 8 or 9 years old. And tomorrow I'm going to read you this poem, inshallah. It's beautiful. So I hope you will stay tuned and join me again tomorrow, and I will read you this poem, inshallah. Until then, stay blessed and stay tuned.